You are back with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. I don't know how I'm going back to toilet paper after this. I haven't used toilet paper in 2 months. Not even one single sheet of toilet paper has touched my ass. The hose is the way to go. I know I've advocated the hose before, but it's just so good. I don't even understand toilet paper anymore. What the fuck is toilet paper? You scrunch it up or you fold it up and you smear your ass with shit. Nothing really gets clean. It just gets smudged around a bit. The main bit goes, the bit that didn't have enough weight for gravity to take it to the bowl. But the rest of it, it's still all tangled up in there. But the water hose, it's so good. It's so good for more reasons than it's the best way to clean shit from your ass. For starters, the hose washes your ass clean. Completely environmentally friendly. No extra waste created besides the dirty shit water. But don't worry, that just goes directly into the ocean and it feeds the fishes. The fishes love shit. Your ass will be spotless. I've talked about all this before. I feel like I need to say it again though. After you hose your ass, get a bit of toilet paper, give your ass a wipe. There's nothing on the toilet paper. Just fucking put the toilet paper back. It's untouched. Just let it dry out and put it back where it was. Let someone else use it. The second advantage to the hose is you can give your dot a little bit of a spray when you're not even shitting. Doesn't matter if it's clean or not. Just hold it there. It's a nice little massage. I hold it there for like 35 minutes. While you're sitting there scrolling through your phone, just fucking get the hose out, give your dot a little bit of a squirt. Give it a little bit of a massage. Give it a break. Pamper it. It doesn't get any sunlight. Let it know you care. Toilet paper leaves little fibers in your dot. You're fucking itching all day. The other advantage is you can clean the bowl with the hose. If you happen to leave a few marks on the side of the bowl, which I've been doing every fucking shit lately, I've been setting some PBs since I've been here. About 3 times a week, I'll do a personal best shit. I'll look at it and I'll go, fuck, I should take a photo of this because I'm never going to top that. There's no way I can top that. I'd have to eat a human to top that. And then later that day, I'll set a new personal best and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I didn't even eat between the 2 shits. Where is it coming from? And I'm not eating much curry either. But that bowl has been getting a workout. And I tell you what, the hose has been an invaluable tool for the fucking daily cleanup that's required. Who the fuck invented the toilet brush? What the fuck were they thinking? The bristles on the toilet brush are virtually the same as a toothbrush, except harder. So you're just scraping around the shit. And yeah, you might be able to get it clean with a little bit of a splash and a couple extra flushes. But then how do you clean the toilet brush? None of it makes fucking sense to me. It blows my fucking mind that we still use toilet paper. What the fuck is going on? That's how entrenched we are in our ways. Even though we all know toilet paper is bullshit, we stick with it. And I'm not talking about dipping your hand in the bucket and washing your dot, which is also better than toilet paper. Just wash your hands afterwards. I'm talking about a shiny, high-powered hose head at your control and your direction, not a bidet, a fucking hose head. It really does blow my mind that we're sticking with the fucking toilet paper. Anyway, guess what's back this week? It's Boyle Breaks History. After a 2-week hiatus because there was no history left. For 2 weeks, there was just no history. I couldn't find any. But it's back after one complaint. One single complaint, bring back Boyle Breaks History. After all that fucking effort, I get one message saying bring back Boyle Breaks History. So it's back. I have to listen to the masses. So this week's Boyle Breaks History is a topic that's very close to my heart. It is the history of birth control. Now, one of my wife's friends just had a little baby girl today, so it got me thinking, how can we stop having kids? All of us. I mean, have some if you want, but I'm never having another kid again under any circumstances. So I'm always thinking about birth control. So the history of birth control dates all the way back to ancient Egypt. Really, the history of birth control is the history of ladies shoving things in their twang. So the ancient Egyptians used various different methods to cover the mouth of the womb. That's what they called the puss back in the day. The mouth of the womb. The ancient Egyptians were just rocking up going, hey baby, do you reckon I can get some headies from your fucking womb mouth? So in ancient Egypt, they would fill her up with a mixture of sodium carbonate and honey. And also a popular birth control in ancient Egypt was a mixture of some fibers, kind of like cotton-like fibers, and crocodile shit. Crocodile dung, they say. Which makes sense to me. If you mix some crocodile dung with some cotton and shove it in the old womb mouth, not much is getting past that. That's probably how the Egyptians went extinct. I mean, there's still people living in Egypt, but I mean the guys with the cat heads. So the Egyptians nailed it pretty much straight away. Then in ancient Greece and Rome, so they used to fill the old, I'm not too sure what they called the puss in ancient Greece and Rome. So they filled the old womb mouth with they pretty much just shoved any sort of plant in there. Acacias, daisies, roses, rose stems, just whatever plant was handy, they just shoved it in there. Lots of flowers. That's where deflowering came from. It didn't, but that sort of makes sense, doesn't it? They would just take out the flower and then you are deflowering. So that was pretty good. I like that one too. So the ancient Chinese use a technique called coitus reservatus. That's where a guy doesn't come. He just remains in the plateau state. Like he gets close, but then he just plateaus and then he doesn't come at all. He just holds that plateau for long durations, which is fucking zen. The Chinese are zen, but obviously that didn't work because there's 1.5 fucking billion Chinese now. That was just guys faking girls out. Before they had sex, the chick would be like, hey, do you have any crocodile dung? And the guy would be like, fuck, don't worry about that. I do coitus reservatus. I've been practicing it for years now. I'm a master coitus reservatus. And then he comes in 2 seconds. He's like, fuck, it was an off day. I've actually been practicing coitus reservatus my whole life and I suck at it. So anyway, that was the Chinese. They fucking failed as well. Ancient India, they used a mixture of palm leaf, honey, ghee, rock salt. They whipped up a little bit of a fucking curry and threw it in there. Have a little bit of a feed for later. Medieval Europe, they inserted lily root and rue. And if that didn't work, they just went the old infanticide. The old kill the baby when it's born. It's a classic. It's a classic in the ancient world. And that was pretty much it up until the Industrial Revolution, believe it or not. It was just different variations and cocktails of shoving shit in your twang until the Goodyear guy, the guy who fucking made rubber, the guy who vulcanized rubber, if that's what it's called. Him discovering the vulcanization of rubber led to condoms and diaphragms. But even they weren't readily available to everyone and they were banned in places. And then dudes would just throw them off or pretend they're wearing one anyway. There was a big birth control movement in the early 20th century. I think it was mixed in with the feminists or some shit like that. Don't fucking quote me on that. I'm just connecting the dots, all right? So then the idea of birth control was popularized, but really, nothing really worked that well until the pill. I mean, if we were only relying on guys wearing condoms, the population of the world would be 200 billion. And I suppose before the pill, the thing that kept the population so low was infant mortality. Because I think it was 50% of kids didn't make it. But they would have 20 kids and 10 would make it. So I was kind of lucky that the pill came around in the 1950s, which was invented by Gregory Pincus and John Rock. Jesus Christ, these names. Whenever you go through history, the names always have a connection to what they invented or some shit. Gregory Pincus and John Rockhard. Every single fucking time. Anyway, that came in the 1950s, just as improvements to medical practices were decreasing the infant mortality rate. I am laughing because I am just making that whole shit up. That wasn't in anything I was reading. I'm joining the dots. That was nowhere to be seen in anything I looked at. But it makes sense, doesn't it? And the pill was, now we're getting real sketchy. and the pill was made readily available to the public in the 1960s. And yeah, pretty much the message here is just do anal. Don't worry about any of it. All right, that's it for another installment of Boyle Breaks History. That's it for tonight. If you're enjoying the podcast, give it a share around with your friends. Sign up to the Patreon, and I'll see you the fuck later.